Tuberculosis, more commonly known as simply TB, is a very serious infectious disease that affects mainly your lungs. The bacteria that causes this disease is called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The bacteria is spread from one person to another through tiny droplets released into the air via coughs. My lungs. Oh, snap. Oh, shoot. Yo, it's the second time today. After the other ones. Sneezes.
Oh my god.
And even talking.
Yo, founder, what?
Yo, what up? Yo, you just gave me tuberculosis, man.
Yo, you deserve it.
TB comes in two forms, latent and active. Latent is when the disease is in your system but none of the symptoms appear. Active is when the symptoms appear, and this is the one that causes the large amounts of death. Approximately 1/3 of the entire population has TB, but it is mostly latent, so that's good. Now, to understand more of the disease, we'll talk about its history.
Tuberculosis is one of the oldest diseases still around today. Scientists believe the disease to be either 6,000 years old or 9,000 years old. The exact date of the first infection is still debated to this date. It started out in Africa, in animals such as goats, cows, seals, and sea lions. They spread to humans via the trade routes of the old world. The disease spread to the rest of the world from the seals and sea lions spreading carrying it over through the Atlantic Ocean.
Skipping ahead a few years, like 3000 or something, we move on to the 19th century. This is when tuberculosis began killing more people than ever. Here it was known as the Romantic Disease or the White Plague. Here the disease began to represent spiritual purity and temporal wealth. Upper class women would intentionally pale their skin to resemble the consumptive appearance. So people would literally want to look like they were dying because they thought it looked nice. Yo, if you thought chokers were bad, think again.
Now onto the 20th century, this was a big year for medical advancements in tuberculosis. Vaccines were invented by Albert Calmette and Camille Guerrero in 1906. However, it was first used on humans in 1921. It became used overseas by Germany and Great Britain after World War II. By 1954, 250,000 people had been vaccinated, and in just the next year, the number rose to 600,000, half of which were school children. Also, Albert Schatz and Selman Waksman created streptomycin, which was known as the first antibiotic effective against TB in 1944. A few years later, in 1952, isoniazid was created, and this was the first oral antibiotic to fight against tuberculosis. In 1970, rifampin was created to quicken recovery time. Now that the history is out of the way, we can talk about the disease itself. What does it do? How do we cure it? And is there even a cure?
So first off, how is it contracted? Well, tuberculosis is an airborne contagion, meaning, as we said before, it is contracted through things such as the infected person coughing, sneezing, or even talking. The bacteria won't thrive on surfaces, meaning that if someone with TB were to touch a doorknob, someone else who touches the doorknob would contract the disease. Yo, that's exactly why I think Hitler wasn't all that bad. I know. It's not open. Yo, try it, man.
Yo, I can't touch it. You have tuberculosis.
Yo, don't worry. Mycobacterium tuberculosis doesn't strive on surfaces.
Oh my god.
Knowledge. It's very easy to catch without the proper precautions, but with the proper precautions, you will be safe.
Now, we've talked a lot about the disease, but we haven't talked about its symptoms yet. Most of the symptoms of TB don't sound that bad. However, they can lead to a deadly outcome. Some of the symptoms include chest pain, coughing up blood, feeling tired all the time, night sweats, chills, fever, loss of appetite, and weight loss. The consumptive term for the disease comes from the weight loss portion of the disease. The deadly part of TB is from coughing up sputum and the chest pains. The chest pains come from scarring of the lungs due to severe and consistent coughing. And the coughing can become as severe as coughing up lots of blood and getting a Rasmussen aneurysm.
On a cellular level, TB is fairly simple. In the latent form of the disease, when the bacteria is inhaled, white blood cells surround the bacteria and are walled off in areas called granulomas. Scars later form in these walled off areas. If the granulomas were to rupture and fluid starts to leak, then tuberculosis pleurisy may develop. The fluid buildup will cause shortness of breath and chest pain. If the immune system is weak, it can cause it to reactivate. A cavity will form and it will have a perfect habitat for the bacteria to grow and reproduce rapidly. Those with this form of tuberculosis are very contagious. If a nodule were to form, this can be a sign of miliary TB. This is a very dangerous strand of TB because chest x-rays look normal, but this is the most common type to result in death.
A person's daily lifestyle is also heavily affected by having tuberculosis. Infected people may have to take up to 20 tablets per day for weeks or even months. As well, the side effects of these medications can be serious, such as gastric problems, diarrhea, liver and kidney dysfunction, headaches, and loss of hearing. As well, family and friends would have to take certain precautions when interacting with them due to contagious nature of the disease. People would also be a lot less active due to the shortness of breath and chest pains. Lots of daily activities will be taken away from them as they won't be able to manage dealing with strain on their lungs.
Thankfully, to medical advancements, tuberculosis isn't so hard to treat in first world countries anymore. Certain drugs that we've mentioned earlier, such as isoniazid, rifampin, and other ones such as viambitol and pyrazinamide, can be used to help treat the disease. To prevent getting the disease in the first place is slightly harder. There are vaccines available for tuberculosis, however, they aren't as effective on adults as they are for children. As well, there are certain safety tips such as wearing a face mask around people with TB, not spending too much time in cramped rooms with people infected with TB, and also encouraging people in your household with TB to get treatments to get rid of the disease, even if it's in its latent form. In conclusion, tuberculosis is pretty crappy. Don't catch that. I mean, if you can, but remember, 1/3 of the world population has that. Not it!
Oh my god.